Hey everyone, it's Miles. So today's video is going to be about testosterone and the effects that it has on your body. And before I start, I just want to give a warning. Some of the topics that I talk about are going to be kind of, I don't want to say inappropriate, but for lack of a better word, inappropriate, especially for younger viewers. And they're going to be like a little bit personal, and so if you don't want to hear about that stuff, then I suggest you click away from this video. Okay, so to start, hair growth, like biggest one, and probably something that like most trans guys are excited about, or I know that I was, definitely was the facial hair growth. And I actually haven't shaved in like 2 weeks, and so that I could show you in this video, it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to take some pictures and attach them. I don't know if you can see, like it mostly grows down here for me, and then like my mustache and sideburns definitely. I don't know if you can see that, definitely on my sideburns you can. But I'll take some better pictures on my phone and then put them in here so that you can see them. Okay, and then you'll also definitely notice hair growth like under your arms, like this. You can definitely see how much it grows. And then your stomach, I don't know if you can see it. I definitely have like a really bad happy trail though. And that actually goes all the way up, and then on my chest like a little bit, not a whole lot, but there's definitely some hair growth there. Your legs, I'm not gonna try to get my leg up here to show you, but legs definitely. And then just like the hair on your arms, it gets thicker and darker. And then I've also noticed it like on the backs of my shoulders, but like not my whole back. So it really just kind of depends on your body and like your genes and stuff, and that's like where you'll notice hair growth. Okay, second one is your voice. I was definitely really excited for this too. Obviously, your voice gets deeper. I'm gonna do a comparison video later on down the road to show my voice when I was 3 months on T to up to like now, or whenever I do it, you know, I'm almost 2 years now. And then along with that, you'll see the growth of your Adam's apple. I don't know if you can see mine, I'll try to turn so you can see it. But you'll start to see that as well. Okay, the next one, oh, I was so excited for this. Your period stops, and my god, that is like the best feeling in the world. And it's different for everybody. Mine, I think it was about, I want to say 3 or 4 months on T when mine finally stopped. The only bad thing about that is for a while afterwards, you will still get like the period like symptoms, so like cramps and stuff, which is shitty, but I mean, your period stops, so it's kind of worth it. And then as far as that goes, it's also different for people, like how it stops. So mine was just like really sudden, like it just stopped, you know, I just stopped having it. Some people, it will like gradually go away, so it'll just get lighter and lighter and then eventually stop. And then other people's will get really heavy and then stop. And so it just kind of depends, again, on your body and how your body reacts to the testosterone. Anger, so that's one that they warned me about a lot. Was just that it would make you angry, which it kind of makes, you know, it makes sense, it's a steroid. I didn't really notice the anger all that much, but I've never really been like an angry person either. So if you have anger problems, then like definitely starting testosterone is gonna just make that so much worse. So it's definitely just something to keep in mind. And even if you don't get angry easily, this may cause you to get angry really easily. So it's really, like honestly, everything that happens really just depends on your body and how your body reacts to testosterone. So again, it just depends. It's different for everybody. But for me, I really didn't notice it all that much. I mean, like definitely a little bit at first, but I was able to control it. And so, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Acne. Oh my god, this was like one of the worst things. Your acne is gonna get so bad, and I'm really sorry for that. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it gets really bad. And like there's really not a whole lot you can do. I mean, just like wash your face is, you know, like try to do it like twice a day. I still don't even wash my face twice a day. I only wash once a day. Okay, muscle. You're definitely gonna notice a little bit more of like you'll notice more muscle, but you're not gonna like suddenly look like a bodybuilder or anything. You're just gonna notice a little more muscle and like a little more definition, I guess. Especially if you work out, then that's great, and it's just gonna it's gonna look really nice. I don't work out all that much, so as you can see, I really don't have a whole lot, but you can definitely tell that there's something, and that's just my arms, and then my legs as well. Shoulders definitely too. The next one is your face, so it'll kind of like change your facial structure, so it'll make it like less chubby, like less like of a baby face, which I know you're looking at me and you're probably like, well, that's bullshit because look at your face, but mine actually is a lot better than it was, and you can definitely tell like in pictures and stuff. I'll try to throw some comparison pictures in right here. And then also your jaw, you'll start to notice your jawline is a lot more defined. Like, I don't know if you can see mine, but you'll notice that that's a lot more defined. And then I've heard of like people's like noses and stuff changing as well. I haven't noticed any changes like in my nose or anything like that. Mine's mostly been like my cheeks and like I said, my jaw. So again, it just really depends. Body odor, I never really noticed my body odor get worse, but I have pretty good hygiene, so like you know, just shower, use deodorant, you know, like, I mean, it's pretty much common sense. But I have heard of a lot of people having like really bad body odor just as, you know, a side effect of the testosterone. So again, just depends on your body, but I really didn't notice it all that much. Okay, so these last couple things I'm going to talk about is why I had the warning in the beginning. These are a little bit like inappropriate, but I just feel like they're not really talked about a lot, and even though they might not make like as big of a difference as the other changes that I've mentioned, it's still definitely something that I think that you need to be aware of. And so really quick, just before I go over it, I just want to ask that everybody who is watching this right now, please just be mature about this and please be respectful. Like I said in my first video, the reason I started doing this again is to provide information for people like me, and I want to be able to give them the most information and the most accurate information that I can. And so that's why I decided to include these. It was a debate. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in here because it's definitely something that you need to know about if you're getting ready to start testosterone or if you're considering starting it. The first one, your sex drive will increase, and like I said, that like it's not really, I guess, like a big deal, and it probably won't be for a lot of people, but if that's something that worries you, just know that it will increase your sex drive, and so just be ready for that to happen. Last thing, I'm not going to give a whole lot of detail about this, so if you want to know the specifics, please just private message me, and I will give you any information that you need or that I can provide. Your private area will undergo some changes as well. And like I said, I'm not going to go into detail, but if you are considering testosterone or you're getting ready to start and that's something that you want to know more about, you can private message me or do your own research. Like, I know I do my own research a lot for this kind of stuff. That's really all that I can think of to talk about. If you think I might have left something out or there's something that you have questions about, feel free to private message me or leave it in the comments, and I will try to get back to you with the best information that I can. But all of this, honestly, is based off of my personal experience with testosterone. So before you start, or if you're thinking about starting, get ready to start, definitely consult your doctor because they will know better than me what kind of changes you can undergo, and especially if they know you, like if they've been your doctor for a while, then they will probably know better how your body will react to the testosterone and to the changes. So definitely don't just go off of what you find on the internet, because I'm providing the best information that I can, but it's also just from my personal experience. So you definitely need to consult with your doctor. and just find out about the changes, or maybe there is stuff that I left out, or maybe things that I didn't experience that you will. The next part of my video, I am actually going to show you guys how I give myself my testosterone shots. And a quick note, a lot of people when they start will, they'll start with getting it in their butt, just because you have to get it intramuscularly, and getting it in that area will, that's like the quickest way, like it'll work the quickest there and the best there. I'm about to give myself my shot. You're gonna want to sit so that like you can have your leg like out, just, I'm gonna try not to move so that light doesn't blind me, so that your leg can be out, so that your like thigh isn't tense when you do it. And you're gonna want to do it, again, I'm not an expert, somewhere up in here, like a little higher up on your thigh, kind of in the meaty part. And so I'm just gonna show you really quick. So this is my prescription, and I'll show you what the actual testosterone looks like. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's kind of like off yellow, and it's really super thick too. And so you're gonna need a pretty big needle, which I will show you. I also have a draw-out syringe that I use just because it's easier to pull the testosterone out of it. So I'm just gonna show you the full process. So you have your syringe. I use a size 21 just because it's so thick that with the 21 it comes out a lot easier. So that's the 20. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take off the actual syringe that will go in your skin, and then you're gonna take your draw-out syringe, open this up, and then it just will screw onto your actual, like that. And just make sure it's on there tight. We have had the problem before when my mom was giving me my shot that we didn't have it screwed on tight enough, and it actually fell off while she was trying to give me my shot. But anyway, so you're gonna get that ready, and then just set it. And this just has a little cap that you just pull off. And then you're gonna just draw it out. The thing with this, you don't really have to worry too much about, let me show the draw-out syringe, can you even see that? It's pretty thick, don't worry, that's not going in my leg. But you're gonna draw it out. Like this. You don't really have to worry too much about getting like air bubbles, because it does go into your muscle and not into your like veins. So I know with like a lot of shots you have to be careful to not get air in them, but with testosterone it's not really a big deal. I mean, like, try to get the air bubbles out just for safety, but you don't, I mean, like, if there's a tiny one in there, it's not going to kill you. Hopefully, anyways, double check that with your doctor, don't take my word for it, but it's never affected me before. So basically you're just going to draw it out. As you can see, I take one mil. There's a little bit of a bubble, but like if it's right at the top like that, then you can just push up a little bit and it'll squirt out a little bit of your testosterone. You can see it on the side, but it'll get rid of that air bubble. And so you just kind of flick it, you know, get rid of all the little ones, and then just take your cap, put it back on there, and unscrew the draw-out syringe. And then the draw-out syringes you can actually use as many times as you want, as long as they're not going into your skin. So keep that, and then you can use it later on. And then you're just going to take your normal syringe and screw it on there. Again, make sure it's on there tight. This one especially, this one is the important one. So now you have your shot ready. One thing, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it's a really good idea, especially if you're worried about like germs and stuff. Just get like an alcohol swab or like a cleansing towel, like out of a first aid kit, and you're just gonna clean the area where you're giving yourself a shot. And I know that a lot of guys too, or people, will actually clean the top of this bottle before they pull the testosterone out. I don't do that. It's not really an important thing, but again, if you're worried about germs or anything like that, then definitely. And then you're just going to take your cleansing towel. You can clean your hands if you want to, but really what it's for is to just clean the area where the needle's actually going to go in, which I always do a big area because I never know exactly where I'm going to hit it. So just do, you know, like a decent sized area. Make sure it's clean, then you can clean your hands if you want to. You can, like I said, clean the bottle. It's really just your preference. But I do it on my leg for sure, just to make sure that there's nothing, you know, like that will get inside my body. And then you just want to let it air dry. Don't dry it yourself. You just want to let it air dry a little bit. Okay, now this is a scary part, and honestly, I still shake really bad when I do this. And it just, you're scared because you're like watching yourself put a needle into your leg. And I know that you're thinking like, oh my god, that's gonna hurt. It really doesn't, and I swear to god, I'm not just saying that. The last time I gave myself a shot, it hurt. It was like a little pinch in the beginning, but that's because I did it too far down on my leg, and I got like the tense muscle part. That's why you want to do it up here in like the fatty part, because it won't hurt. And then I know a lot of people like stick it in really fast. That scares the crap out of me, and I refuse to do it, and you don't have to. That's, you know, so that's a plus. You can just stick it in slowly. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, and then it's really just your preference. And I apologize because I know the lighting sucks and you're probably not going to be able to see. And like, I wasn't going to have that on, but then I can't see what I'm doing and I don't want to kill myself. But anyway, so I'm just going to show you the needle. And the size of the needle is going to look really scary. I know that it is. It's probably going to be kind of hard to see in here. But I promise if you do anything smaller, it's going to hurt because of how thick the testosterone is. You also don't want to leave this out too long. Then you're just going to get, you know, a good spot. Again, don't let your leg be tense, let it be loose. And then you're just going to go. And you don't need to go in super far. 1/4 inch or so. And then you're just going to push it in. There's no rush, just go nice and slow. As you can see, I'm still shaking. It's totally fine. That's a normal thing. Make sure it all gets in there, and then when you pull it out, you're going to want to put your finger over the hole because the testosterone will try to leak back out. So just put your finger on there, kind of rub it around, you know, let it get in your leg. But as you can see, it's super painless. I obviously still shake. It's just the thought of it, I guess, and just watching yourself put a needle in your leg is kind of scary. But yeah, you're just going to want to get it in there. Make sure it's in there good enough. I mean, if a little bit leaks out, it's fine. Don't freak out. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. But you do want to make sure that the majority of it gets in there just so that you're getting the desired effects. And you don't want to just sit and do nothing after you get this in. You're going to, you know, walk around for a few minutes, make sure it gets worked into your body. Just so that you can start noticing the effects, like I said. But yeah, make sure it's in there. So then this syringe, you're going to want to throw away. A good thing to do is to bend the actual needle so that, like, drug addicts and stuff can't take it out of the garbage and use it. But anyways, and you might notice too a little bit of bleeding afterwards. Totally normal. Again, don't freak out. If you want to put a band-aid over it, you can. I don't, just because it's not like it's gushing blood or anything, and the testosterone, I've worked it in there enough by holding my finger over and just kind of rubbing it that I don't have to worry about it leaking out now. Like, don't think that in 2 minutes it's gonna all just come leaking back out. It'll stay in there as long as you have held it in there for the first few seconds and make sure it got worked into your leg. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty simple. Again, throw this away. You can keep the draw out syringe and use as many times as you want. And then just, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Pretty basic, pretty easy. It doesn't hurt. And I know that you're probably thinking that I'm lying, but I promise you I'm not. It doesn't hurt at all, especially in the leg. I will admit that when you are getting it in your butt, it does pinch a little bit, but I mean, it's not excruciating. But in your leg, definitely it doesn't hurt at all. So I would start doing that as soon as possible. But anyway, so that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and please keep checking in for more videos.